Hello class, good morning. So as you know that from tomorrow your unit 5 exams will be starting, okay? And your economics exam will be on 31st of May, okay? So all the best for your unit exams, and I'm uh, scheduling this video just for your revision video, okay? This is not based a new chapter or a new lecture on new chapter. This is just a revision video, okay? So see, for your unit first examination it is a 40 marks, and in economics as you know that you have two part, that is introductory macroeconomics, and second one is part 2b, part b, that is Indian economic development. So 20 marks is of introductory macroeconomics and 20 marks is of economic development. From introductory macroeconomics, 4 questions are of 1 mark each, 2 questions are of 3 marks each, 1 question is optional, and 1 question is of 4 marks, it is also optional, and 1 question is of 6 marks, okay? So total is 20 marks, okay? And from same Indian economic development, that is 4 questions 1 mark each, 2 questions 3 marks each, 1 question is of 4 marks, and 1 question is of 6 marks. So total is 20 marks. So that is whole total paper is of 40 marks, okay? So this is the schedule of your unit first economics examination, okay? So total you have how many questions? 4 5 6 7 8 8 plus 8 16 questions you have, which is of 40 marks, okay? Is it clear? Fine. Now see, come to our introductory macroeconomics book, chapter 1, that is introduction. Okay, so just we are revising the topics which we are having in our unit 5 examination. As you know that you are having 3 chapters from introductory economics and Indian economic development. There are 2 chapters which will be coming in a unit 5 examination, okay? So see, introduction, as in the chapter introduction, what we have studied what is the meaning of macroeconomics. So as I tell you that macroeconomics is the combination of 2 words, that is macro plus economics, okay? Macro plus economics, because it is the combination of 2 words. See, macro economics, if you're talking about, so it is of combination of 2 words, that is macro and economics. This is the combination of 2 words, macro and economics. Macro is derived from the Greek word, that is macros. It is derived from the word macros, okay, which means large. What does it mean? Large. And economics, actually economics is the study, as you have studied in a 11th class also, what is economics? So economics, it is the study of economic issues or economic problems. Of an economy, okay? So macroeconomics, it is the study of economic issues or economic problems of an economy as a whole, because here macro word is used, that means large, so we are studying as a whole. If we are talking about microeconomics, then micro means with the small, okay? So that is study of economic issues or economic problems of an economy, not an economy. We will study economic issues or economic problems of an individual firm or an industry under microeconomics, okay? So macroeconomics, this is the definition of macroeconomics. You just have to tell it is a combination of 2 words, that is macro and economics. Macro is a derived from Greek word, okay, that is macros, which means large. And what is the meaning of economics? Then just you have to combine these definitions and just put a new definition of macroeconomics, okay? Now how macroeconomic differs from microeconomic, that is you have to tell the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. As I told you that So see, difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics, we have also done this topic in our class 11th standard. Okay, so microeconomics actually it deals with economic issues related to small economic units, an individual firm, an individual household, or an individual consumer. But macroeconomic deals with economic issues at the level of a economy as a whole. Okay. Now, microeconomics is basically concerned with determination of price in the market. Accordingly, it is often called as theory of price. But in macroeconomics, actually, it is basically concerned with determination of aggregate output and general price level in the economy as a whole. So, accordingly, it is often called the theory of income and employment. Okay. Now, study of microeconomics assumes that macro variables remain constant because it does not consider macroeconomic variables. Okay, thus it is assumed that general price level is constant while we are studying determination of price in the individual market. Okay, but in the study of macroeconomics, actually it assumes that micro variables remain constant. Okay, because this is the study of macro, so it assumes that microeconomic variables remains constant. Thus it is assumed that distribution of GDP remains constant when we are studying the level of GDP in the economy, because we are studying economy as a whole. Okay, now principal components of microeconomics are like theory of consumer behavior, theory of producer behavior, theory of price, because what we are studying deals with economic issues, economic problem relating to small economic units, जैसे individual firm है, individual household है, ठीक है. But the here principal components of macroeconomics are like theory related to equilibrium in the economy, theory related to disequilibrium, or you can say theory related to correction. ठीक है, fiscal policy, monetary policy, because fiscal policy and monetary policy, these are not for the single individual, ठीक है, or single industry, these are for the whole economy. Okay, so this is the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now move to the next. Now, scope and significance of macroeconomics. Actually, what is the scope of macroeconomics? It is that is estimation of national income and related aggregates, theory of employment, theory of money, theory of general price level, inflationary or deflationary gap, and role of the government or the government budget. Okay, but its significance is discrimination of the economy, roadmap of growth and development, economic stability, BOP, that is balance of payment status, problems of poverty and environmental pollution, or you can say policy formation. These are the scope and significance of macroeconomics. Okay, now this chapter is finished. Now move to the next chapter, that is concepts, some basic concepts of macroeconomics. Okay, actually I have told you what is the classification of goods. So as I told you, goods are of four types, that is final goods, intermediate goods, consumption goods, or capital goods. Okay, so what are final goods and what are intermediate goods? As I told you, final goods that are ready for use. Okay, but intermediate goods which are in the process, which are in the boundary line of the production. Okay, which cannot be used directly, like see. Yes, actually final goods, these are those goods which have crossed the boundary line or production and are ready for use by their final users. And who are the final users? These are consumers or producers. Okay, final consumer goods which are using by the consumers for the satisfaction of their wants, and final producer goods are finally purchased by the producers and are generally used as fixed assets in the process of production. Okay, so whatever the expenditure on final consumer good, that is the final consumption expenditure. Okay, now that is the consumption expenditure. And what is the expenditure done by the producer on final producer good? That is the investment expenditure, because producers are expending their money, or they are making investment, because they are in their investment is for income generation. Okay, so that is the investment expenditure. Okay, now see, what do we, when we say that final goods have crossed the boundary line, what is the meaning of boundary line cross? Okay, what is the meaning of cross the boundary line? That is, it completes the process of production, like flour है, sugar, and you can say wheat है, wheat flour है, ठीक है ना. तो that is the raw material which are using for the making biscuit. These are raw material में sugar है, flour वगैरह जो भी है, ठीक है ना, that is under the process of production. So these are my raw material, these are my intermediate goods. But when we make a biscuit from these raw material, then biscuit is that is final good that can be used by a consumer for their satisfaction. Okay, so like I am saying that if the retailer purchased shirt for rupees 900 from the wholesaler and sells for rupees 1000 to the consumer, so there is value addition of rupees 100, that is 1000 को उसने सेल किया है लेकिन परचेज कितने का था 900, so 100 rupees is the value addition. Okay, so you may note that only final goods are included in the estimation of national income. Intermediate goods नहीं होते हैं because we are considering the value of suppose I am considering a value of biscuit as a rupees 20, so it includes the value of raw material also, because I will not say that sugar value is 5 rupees and flour value is 10 rupees, then my profit is 2 rupees, then the biscuit is of 20 rupees. Okay, I will not say like this because I will just say that biscuit is of 20 rupees. So it includes each and everything, that is profit of the seller. It also includes the values of the raw material, ठीक है ना, intermediate goods. So intermediate goods we are not considering while using the national income, while estimating the national income, because if you will use intermediate goods also, value of intermediate goods also, then the problem of double counting will be created. Okay, because we are using intermediate goods as in the value of final goods also, so we are not considering the value of intermediate goods. Okay, we are just considering the value of final goods while the estimation of national income or national products. Now intermediate goods, actually intermediate goods are those goods which are within the boundary line of production. Value is yet to be added to these goods and these goods are not ready for use by their final users. Okay, see, when a carpenter buys wood worth rupees 10,000 and converts it into chairs worth rupees 20,000, so when the value of chairs includes the value of wood also, na, intermediate goods also, so intermediate goods are not included in the national product. That is, it will be create a problem of double counting, that is counting the value of good more than once. Okay, now see, consumption goods are also known as consumer goods. Okay, so these are those goods which are directly used by the satisfaction of their wants. Like I am saying, ice cream and milk is used by the household. These goods are consumed by the household when purchased. जब purchase करेंगे तभी उसको consume करेंगे, ठीक है. Actually consumer goods are of 4 types, that is durable consumption goods, semi durable consumption goods, non durable consumption goods and non material goods or services. ठीक है, non material बोल सकते हो आप इसको because these are not tangible, these are just services. Okay, so durable goods which can be used for several years and are of relatively high value जिसकी होती है. These are 2 features of durable consumption good, that I am saying TV, radio, car, scooter, washing machine are some example of durable consumption goods because we can use these for several years and these are of relatively very high value. ठीक है ना, high value का होता है. Now semi durable consumption goods are those goods which can be used for a period of 1 year or slightly more. या तो 1 year का होता है और you can say it can be used for a slightly more than 1 year. Okay, these are not very high value, like I am saying clothes है, furniture है, crockery है, electric goods है. These are the example of semi durable consumption goods. या तो 1 साल तक ईयर तक होता है, ठीक है ना. ड्यूरेबल जो इसका होता है ड्यूरेबिलिटी 1 ईयर की होती है या उससे थोड़ा ज़्यादा होती है, ठीक है ना. जैसे क्रॉकरी है, टूट जाती है, ख़राब हो जाती है, ठीक है. Now non durable or you can say single use, like non durable को single use भी बोलते हैं. That is non durable goods are those goods which are used up in a single act of consumption, like we are purchasing milk and it will be consumed as a single, it will not its durability not for several years, है ना. एक बार यूज़ किया ख़त्म हो जाता है, जब हम उसको यूज़ करते हैं तो ख़त्म हो गया. Now services are those non-material goods which directly satisfy human want, like doctor, lawyer, domestic servant. These all are the examples of services. Now capital goods, actually capital goods are fixed assets of the producers. As you know that producers want fixed assets for the process of production. So capital goods are the fixed assets of the producers. Plant and machinery, you can say the example of capital goods. Actually these goods are used for either for the replacement of capital stock, or you can say addition to capital stock. Okay, because if a producer have some, suppose he has a one machine and it gets damaged, so what will the producer do? It will replace it. Or suppose the workload is more, he has to produce more output, so what will he do? He will add one more machinery. ठीक है ना? So either for the replacement of capital stock, or you can say addition to the capital stock. Now consumption expenditure. What is the consumption expenditure? So consumption expenditure, as I told you, that it refers to aggregate consumption expenditure in the economy. Okay, so who are the consumers in the economy? Actually consumers, or not only we are the consumers. Consumers are broadly classified as, see, consumers, household are consumers, government consumer, okay, and non-profit institutions. Non-profit institution means which their aim is not for getting only profit, like Gurdwara, they are providing langars, okay, and in temples there are going to be bhandaras, and in the school, government school, midday meals are provided. ठीक है ना? So these are non-profit institutions. See, like household, what does household do? What does it do? They buy consumer goods for satisfaction of their wants, because they want to satisfy their wants, so they buy consumer goods, satisfaction of wants. Now why does government buy? What will the government do for the consumer goods? They will purchase these goods for distribution among, you can say, for distribution among defense forces, or you can say midday meals, है ना? It will provided by the government, so it will purchase goods for distribution among defense forces, midday meals, etc. Now why does NPO or non-profit institutions purchase consumer goods? So these purchase goods for like NPO में आपका NGO आता है, गुरुद्वारास, ठीक है. So they buy consumer goods for charity. Okay, so these are the consumers. If we are referring to consumers, so it does not refer that we are the consumers, we are the only consumers. No, consumers include household, government, and non-profit institutions. Okay, now investment. See, investment is done by the producer. It is done by the producer does investment for getting profit. Okay, actually it refers to increase in the stock of capital, that is I is equal to delta K. What is I here? I means investment and delta K means change in capital stock. Change in capital stock. Okay, delta means change. So investment is of two types. It is of two types. That is fixed investment, and second one is inventory investment. Fixed investment means it refers to increase in the stock of fixed assets like plant and machinery of the producers during an accounting year. Okay, like I am saying that in a beginning of an year 2018, beginning में a producer has stock of 8 machines, but in the end of 2018 it has a stock of 10 machines. So the stock of his fixed assets increased by 2 machines, that is 8 to 10. So that is, you can say that stock of his fixed assets increased by 2 machines during the 2018. So fixed investment of the producer. What is the fixed investment here? Fixed investment is 2 machines. Okay, now come to the inventory investment. So inventory investment, what is inventory investment? At a point of time, as you know that producers hold the stock of finished goods and semi-finished goods, okay, or raw material. Finished goods, producer hold finished goods that are unsold goods. Okay, सेकेंड सेमी फिनिश्ड, जो आधे अधूरे बन रखे हैं, अभी आधे फिनिश्ड हैं. सेमी फिनिश्ड गुड्स विच आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, और रॉ मटेरियल्स के पास होता है. ठीक है, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड इन्वेंट्री इन्वेस्टमेंट. ये उसका क्या है? इन्वेंट्री इन्वेस्टमेंट है. ठीक है, सो दैट इज, इफ आई एम सेइंग दैट suppose a producer may have to expected sell 1000 units of washing machine. He just want to sell 1000 units of washing machine. Okay, but out of this he sell only 500 units. तो अनसोल्ड कितनी बची उसके पास? 500 यूनिट्स क्या है? फिनिश्ड है, यानी कि फिनिश बनी है लेकिन अभी तक बिकी नहीं है, अनसोल्ड है. ठीक है ना. सो दिस आर द अनडिजायर्ड इन्वेंट्री इन्वेस्टमेंट, यानी कि ये चाहिए नहीं था लेकिन ज़्यादा हो गया है. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम के लिए व्हाट विल ही डू, वो क्या करेगा कि जो उसको लगा है कि मेरा 500 यूनिट्स, तो थोड़ा सा मार्जिन लेके चलेगा ज़्यादा, कि भाई क्या पता इंक्रीज हो रहा है डिमांड, तो इतना ज़्यादा नहीं रखेगा कि 500 तो उसके पिछले साल की क्या है, रिमेनिंग थी, है ना. तो अब वो क्या करेगा, नेक्स्ट ईयर थोड़ा कम बनाएगा, क्योंकि वो भी तो उसने बेचना ही है, वो सामान भी तो निकालना है. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि वो ख़राब हो गया, वॉशिंग मशीन ऐसा तो नहीं है कि रखे रखे ख़राब हो गई. तो उसको नेक्स्ट ईयर जो अब आपको पता है कि जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चीज़ें हैं उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज होती रहती है ना. इट विल बी अपडेटेड ईयर टू ईयर. ओके, so what it will create a loss to him. Okay, now investment, gross investment is done. Investment and concept of depreciation. Actually gross investment means total investment we are talking about, that is total production of good capital goods during the year. Okay, and what is depreciation? Depreciation means, as you know that while in fixed assets are in use, they go down in value owing to normal wear and tear, accidental damages, or they go down in value also when they become obsolete, or you can say outdated, okay, out of technology, due to change in technology or change in demand. So this is called expected obsolescence, which the producers normally expect to happen. जो producer को लगता है कि ऐसा होना ही है, ठीक है ना. तो obsolescence होता है because it generally happens. ठीक है ना. So depreciation is the loss of value of fixed assets in use of normal wear and tear, accidental damages, and expected obsolescence. Okay, now after this what we have done, that you have done also stock and flow. What is stock? Actually it is a quantity measured at a particular point of time, and flow means it is a quantity measured over a specified period of time. Okay, we are considering 1 year, so over a specified period of time, that is flow. Okay, like example of stock is capital है, bank deposit on a particular date, population of a country. But flow, income, interest on capital, sales of rice, number of births. Then after that we have done that 4 sectors of the economy, that is household sector and producer sector, government sector, and external sector, that is rest of the world. After that we have done intersectoral flow. Intersectoral flow means that is how does household sector depend on producer sector, and how does government sector depends on household and producer sector. ठीक है ना. Intersectoral interdependence leads to intersectoral flow. It is already done in the previous lectures. Okay, now real flow is the flow of goods and services among different sectors of economy, and money flow means flow of money across different sectors of the economy. Okay, now circular flow of income. Circular flow of income means unending flow of activities of production, income generation, or expenditure involving different sectors of the economy. Okay, so these are the topics which we have done from the introductory macroeconomics. After this you have to just prepare nominal GDP, real GDP questions also. Okay, then you have to prepare Indian economic development. So this is the concept for your revision. Okay, so please be prepared with it, and thank you class, and all the best for your unit 1 examination. Thank you.